we just heard it from the horses made on foot chaos. They fear them too. So let's see what that brings.
Definitely. And we are in, ladies and gentlemen, to the draft phase of game number 1 between Star Wars Esports and Alpha 7. And Jing instantly banned out from the side of Star Wars 7. We've seen what he can do in the hands of a good player. Alpha 7, without a doubt, has a good Jing player, and they do not want to play against that at all. Just instantly takes it out, and that is going to be Benignus and his signature hero being taken out straight away.
Absolutely, but then we see Ali go through as well, which is obviously one of the top picks down in the farm lane due to her mobility and obviously late game potential. And then on the side of A7, we see the Cho come through ban-wise, and Dolia, which has been pretty consistent throughout this whole day. Those have probably been the most consistent Cryo bans for the entire day. We see that Star Wars Esports locks in their mid laner straight away before that gets dwindled down, which is Princess Frost, and we saw Foot Chaos with that, and it was a superb pick.
Yep, Alpha 7 picks up the Gun and More and Kaiser, which is interesting.
Ooh, we were speaking about that. Pick.
Absolutely. It's interesting that they banned out the Dolia themselves, because Dolia is a great pairing to go with the Kaiser.
Absolutely.
But I guess the Little Loot is the second best support player along with the Kaiser, and that allows him to be very sustainable in fights. It also amplifies the heals that he gets from the Little Loot, because he takes less damage, and when you get healed for 10% of your health on Kaiser, you're healing him for full, basically. So that allows him to stay in the fight for the longest of time, and that looks like a very scary combination that Alpha 7 has brought out for us.
Absolutely, but I mean, what a way to strike fear is that picks straight away. I mean, Kaiser was one of those picks in HOK VR that was either banned or straight good for in that time and place, and where it was a whole part of the meta within HOK VR. But the Gambo as well was another big pick for the Brazilian teams. Like I said, Little Luke really complements the Kaiser because they don't have the Dolia because of the they banned out themselves, and because they're such a great pick Dolia is right now. But then they ban out Fang and Consort U on the final bans, and whilst picking up the RNG for themselves.
Yeah, and Star Wars Esports with the Musashi, Zhangfei, Huang Zhong, and Charlotte. A lot of diving potential on their side, not to mention the late game potential is there with the Huang Zhong as well. So all in all, looking like a very solid sort of lineup from the side of Star Wars Esports. I definitely like it. Alpha 7 rounds up their lineup with the Byron, which is going to be played on either the jungle or the Clash lane. It's interchangeable with the Kaiser as well. So we're going to wait and see what is going to be. Looks like it's going to be a jungle Kaiser and a Clash lane Byron played by Mustard.
Absolutely. I mean, this is already bringing back so many fun memories of when I was starting to learn this game with the HOK VR tournaments, especially seeing the Byron and the Charlotte actually being able to go one-to-one, head-to-head in the Clash lane. This is probably one of my most fun memories of watching HOK VR tournament out through Zerhu. But like you said, there's a lot of dive in on Star Wars team comp there, and especially that's going to be aided by Princess Frost and her utility. But then we also have Huang
global version of the game, especially in this tournament as well. The Huang Zhong can do and go for him.
Absolutely, but we are entering the gorge for the final match of the day, but it's not the final game of the day, sorry, but not the final match. So this is going to be a heck of a closing match within day one, and I can't wait for it. I mean, we're already seeing the likes of the Musashi going up into the Clash lane to help Charlotte 1v1 this Byron, especially level 1, because we see that Charlotte probably would get outplayed here by the Byron thanks to the likes of the knockup that Byron has, but he also has the dash there. We're seeing Ray going in with Mioj, already doing plenty of damage there, whilst Kaiser is already just working on that Sage buff.
Yeah, that is very important to pressure the Byron early on. You don't have to kill him. You just have to put him low enough that once the Charlotte gets to level 3, he's able to already dominate the lane enough. So that's a good start for Star Wars Esports. They know the strength of their lane. They know what they need to do to allow the Charlotte to win the lane. But yeah, let's see if they are able to keep that up.
Absolutely. I mean, it's not all the time that we see roams and farm lane both already down at their designated lanes.
Yeah.
We normally see that
In
roam
1 minute.
heavily up. Literally, yeah, it's like, yeah, straight to mid. But no, it's actually refreshing to actually see them down there in the farm lane. But then when you're Gammo versus Princess Frost, it's all about sort of who's outranging who can clear the wave faster. And we all know that pretty much Princess Frost is one of the fastest mages that can clear these waves in mid lane, enabling her to roam. But there's a potential to 1v2 potential happening here with Muster and Benikas.
Charlotte did have the good enough map sense to know that, hey, this Kaiser is missing all across the map. He's not bottom, so where can he be? He's probably at top. He plays it safe, not really in any danger whatsoever, and he's able to stay up in the lane. Meanwhile, bottom side, a lot of pressure being put down from the side of Star Wars Esports. They rotate 4 heroes down, but with the little loot providing the sustainability to D&J, they're not able to push out the lane fast enough, and they stay safe while continuing to just destroy the mid lane, with the Gun and Maul being one of the better wave clearers as well.
Absolutely. I feel like that little bit of time that was wasted down in the bot lane, that Musashi's just wasted a lot of time, but the farm there was just no farm to be had. There was no farm taken up. So at all that time, we saw Kaiser rotate from the clash lane down to mid and then back into his own jungle, just farming up even more. And that shows why A7 are currently ahead with the gold difference here right now. We're just going to make sure that they maintain and make sure Musashi is going to be fed up before these team fights, because heavily reliant on the Princess Frost coming into this CC off Musashi.
Yeah, they need Xenon to have a good game. They need Clue to be able to be tanky enough to stand in front, because what Gun and Mo is able to provide to the team is that he's able to nuke down the Huang Zhong at a very safe distance. So you have to stop him before he gets to that distance, and Musashi is one of those that needs to be able to do that by himself. So Ray has a lot of weight on his shoulder. He hasn't had a really good start. It's been pretty average so far. No kills going their way. But let's see if that changes anytime soon, because they are heavily poised to take a fight towards the mid lane. Kaiser does pop his ultimate, but there's not.
Here comes the dive going in onto Zenon there. Oh, Gammo just missing out those abilities onto Princess Frost, but first blood going over to Ray, and a double kill cleanup for Star Wars Esports. Why are they scared? They just got a double kill.
We were just talking about how Musashi needs a good start, and he just gets a double kill right off the bat. So that is one of the good starts that he needs to be able to give Star Wars Esports the advantage going forward. But things are still pretty even on both sides in terms of the net worth. Let's take a look at that again.
Yeah, beautiful play here. We thought there was going to be something going on for A7, but look at that beautiful knock-up double kill there from Ray. Really assisted there by Princess Frost, who was the bait. Let's just make that clear that Zenon was completely used as bait there, but he knew he could get out of there, so that was a really good play. But however, it might just be a little bit too close to comfort here, going in for the Tyrant, whilst A7 all run and rush for the Tyrant, because that double kill pickup in the mid lane was just a little bit too far away from when the Tyrant spawned, which would have been a beautiful play, however, if they managed to time that correctly. That double kill goes straight to Tyrant, boom, boom, boom. Lots of gold to be had, and then obviously the damage increase. However, it did not work that way, which is a shame.
It has to be done. I mean, that time the Princess Frost wasn't a bait there, so they do lose the Tyrant. Not the end of the world for them, just a little bit of just have to play it safe for a minute or so. But Ray, in fact, is heading straight towards the backline, game straight for the D&J, and will burst it down. So will the little loot be bursted down there. Princess Frost providing so much crowd control, and Ray gets yet another double kill. That's gonna be able to help him excel moving on to his game. Kaiser might have bitten a bit more than he can chew, pops his ultimate, but has to back off because the damage coming through from 4 heroes is way too much. But they do manage to trade the mid lane tier 1 power for the bottom tier 1 power.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd be happy with that trade. Obviously, in terms of the kill lead, great, but we all know that this is not a game about kills, because now Alpha 7 have now opened up the enemy jungle for the biggest kind of vulnerability that you can actually attain from taking a first tier turret, which is that mid lane. That is the holy grail of first tier turrets, is that mid lane. So I'm not too sure about that trade there.
Yeah, right now Star Wars Esports has to put a bit more effort to protect their Sage Golem and Might Golem buffs, just to allow Musashi to be able to continue on his role. He's off to a great start, but that tier 1 tower, like you said, one of the most important towers to be protected, they lost it. And that's gonna slow down Ray quite a bit if Alpha 7 decides to constantly pressure towards the mid and continue contesting your tower, your jungles.
Yeah, I can only assume that there's a method to the madness there within Star Wars Esports. The reason why they gave on that mid, which most teams would be like, it's the beginning of the end right now. But I'm sure there's probably some method to the madness of giving that up for the bot lane, but also taking a double kill for Ray on the Musashi. But again, no one's bothered going for the Overlord. We still have a 100-second cooldown on the Tyrant, and A7 are, well, they were even in gold for about a second, and now they're ahead.
They will manage to get the Overlord without any contention though, so that's going to give them a bit of an advantage in terms of the tower damage that the lanes will get pushed down, and they might be able to get the mid-tier 1 tower of their own. But Alpha 7 continuing the pressure, pushing the bottom lane, and will get it for free as well. So very quickly, they lost more real estate on the map, and they might start to choke out Star Wars Esports here, because Wang Zhong is not in a position where he's able to be a huge threat in these fights yet. He needs one more item to complete before he is basically online and becoming a threat on his own.
Absolutely. I feel like the Little Loot is a huge pick here for A7. So Selena, because they have that bouncing CC. Yes, it's only for a brief second, but a brief second's all you need in HOK, and that's the difference between this game and other games. Is just a moment of vulnerability, which is a very small moment, can mean a lot to a team fight. But like I say, they've lost a lot of real estate in that jungle as well. It enables A7 to set up these ganks and just hide in their bushes without them knowing.
Yep, they're going straight for the Princess Frost. Princess Frost able to pop the ultimate, and Zhang Fei will be able to keep everyone back for now. But what is this fight looking like? They're going to go straight for the Little still alive at the moment, and they will bring down the Musashi as well as the Charlotte, not to mention the Zhang Fei as well. And they are going for more. Wawa in trouble, tries to flicker away, but the follow-up, the chase is way too much. He managed to bring down the Gan and more, but he will fall towards the Kaiser. It's going to be a 4-for-1 trade here, going towards the way of Alpha 7. It just went from 0 to 100 in a split second. That was a fight that Alpha 7 would take any time of the day.
Yeah, I mean, I'm literally not seeing any sort of like anti-heal, so going for the Little Loot was a little bit of a little sussy. A little mistake. Little Loot was the little mistake of latching onto it, because the heals, and then the enemy heals, and then her teammates heal around her, and then trying to get on that and make something out of nothing with no anti-heal was just a big no-no, and they've just lost a 4-1 trade. The only thing they had up from Alpha 7 was the kills, and now the gold lead is slowly slipping away at that 3k. And it's slowly start to paint the picture on why Alpha 7 is a feared team.
They know their timings, they know their strength, they know when they're strong, when they should take the fight, and that was definitely a moment where they should have taken the fight. Right now, they do have the Venomous Staff completed on the Princess Frost, which will allow them to reduce the impact that Selena has on this Little Loot. But is it too little too late here? They will go for the Shadow Overlord on the side of Alpha 7, while Star Wars Esports will take the trade with the Tyrant. Making a fight here, but shouldn't.
Oh, what a Giga Chad steal! Crucial kill theft there by Gan and Mo. I'm pretty sure, I just had deja vu, I'm pretty sure I've seen A7 do that exact strategy before in CHOK VR, so that's, I mean, this is why A7 are such a great team, and why the Brazilian teams are probably some of the most feared ones, because they have not only the most experience, they can steal with their mid lane.
Gun and more just deleted the Princess Frost across the map. Suddenly it's a 4 versus 5. You've got all the buffs in the world there for the side of Alpha 7. You got the Shadow Vanguard pushing out the bottom lane as well. That's just so much pressure. This Gun and more pick is absolutely paying off so far. One quick kill, one steal on towards the Shadow Tyrant, and suddenly this looks like the game for the side of Alpha 7 because they will take
Absolutely.
It looks like.
Aggressive push, got Vanguard down in the farm lane, approaching the higher ground turret. They've lost the higher ground turret down in the mid and the clash lane. But yeah, this Ganmo pick is something that is feared, and I remember from the Brazilian tournament, it is a softball pick and it is deadly. Not quite utility, but we get to see the takeout there. A little bit of a trade going on, so 1v1 at the moment, but Clue falls down from Stalwart Esports, and we're still seeing Byron going in for another kill, also tanking the damage from the crystal, but it is still 4 teammates of A7 right at the crystal's gates with the Vanguard, and all that there is left to protect is the Princess Frost, and I don't think that's going to be enough. Zedden cannot take a 4